Hi, I'm Lyndsie. My pronouns are she, her, and today I'm going to take you through an abdominal series that is pretty appropriate for pregnancy and postnatal. So after you give birth and you're trying to find some reconnection to your abdominal muscles, we're going to go over some things today that are really focused on when you're pregnant, and then we'll wrap up with some things that are good to do both while you're pregnant and after you give birth. So the main factor with doing abdominal work while you're pregnant is that most of the time we think of abdominal work and it's laying down flat on your back. And that's just not a thing you get to do anymore after once you get to a certain point in your pregnancy. Early on, you totally can do that. Consult with your doctor by all means. Please, even before you do any of this stuff, consult with your doctor. Ask them what they feel is appropriate level of activity for you right now. And so I like to personally create like a little wedge situation. Now they make those foam wedges. You might even have one. If you're a back sleeper and you have a wedge that you use in your bed, you can use that during your workout too. I like to just build a little wedge if I don't have, or if one of my clients doesn't have one of those at home. And so I've grabbed a bolster that I have and both the pillows off my couch. Though realistically, you could grab any set of pillows. It doesn't have to be a big bolster. It just happens to be what I have on hand. And I'm gonna stack 2 pillows like this and then put a bolster on the tippy top of it. So you can see that I've created sort of a down slope that's gonna support me. The other thing that we're gonna use to do some laying on our back abdominal work is a set of little hand weights or weighted objects. They don't have to be hand weights. If you've got something that's a couple of pounds that are even in both hands, it's a good way to start waking up some of that upper abdominal connection without having to do crunches or anything. So let's go ahead and come on to your back on this wedge. If this is not enough vertical support for you, you are welcome to pad up as much as you'd like. But right now I want you to find a position that works for you. Feel free to pause this video and get yourself situated and set up in a place that doesn't feel like you're lying too flat. Once you do, and you come down onto your back, you're gonna hold on to these weighted objects and have your arms down by your sides. Now, here, to get some movement or some activation in the upper portion of our abdominals, we're gonna take those arms up to the ceiling, holding those weighted objects. And you might feel right away that they had to brace. Holding things above us is a totally valid, relevant way for us to fire up our abdominals. Another good way to do it is to open those arms out to a T, and you're gonna feel them even more. This is also just good arm work. So while we're here, we're gonna open and close. Open and close. Just do 2 more. One more time. Pause here. Now we're gonna take the arms down towards your hips and back up over your shoulders. So I want you to notice as you move your arms that you're not having to do a dang thing crunch-wise necessarily. You're not curling up, you're not moving your abdominals. But you should be able to feel, or you may be able to feel, that as these weights move around, your abs fire up. That's their job, is to support you. 2 more times. And up. Go ahead and lower those down. Now, here, we are going to do a little bit of an articulated bridge. If at any point you want to do one of my other Pilates workouts, and there's a lot of bridging in it, and that doesn't work because you're on a wedge because you're pregnant, this is what you're gonna do. Arms down by your sides, walk your feet in a little closer to your tush, and on your exhale, imprint your spine by tilting your pelvis, and then go back to neutral. This may get difficult as you get further along in your pregnancy. So if this presents an issue for you, walk your feet wider, and you can do a very similar motion there, or walk your feet further away from you. It's still relevant. It just makes the actual coming up into a baby bridge harder. So if at any point you're taking another class and there's bridging in it, and you want to take the rest of the class still, what you're gonna do is you're gonna imprint your spine and peel up and stop right at the base of your ribs, and then peel your way back down. This may actually give you a lot of low back relief if you're holding a lot of tension right there. 3 more times. 2. And last one. And down we go. Fabulous. One of my favorite other places to do here, let's come along for the ride. You're either gonna hold on to your hand weights or just take your arms out by your sides. Reach those arms down by you. Now here, you're gonna give me the tiniest baby upper body curl. So chin towards your chest, little baby curl, and pump your arms. This is the hundreds movement. We're breathing in and breathing out. And feeling those abdominals give me a tiny bit of contraction. And we're just creating instability with the arms that the abdominals have to respond to. Inhale, exhale. If the curl up is too much, rest your head back on your wedge or pillow setup. But feel them working. It's on, they're firing, it's real. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh yeah, rest those arms. Rock your hips a little from side to side. Now to challenge unilaterally, so opposite sides, we're also gonna take just a weight into your right hand. Let's take that weight into your right hand. And then you're gonna bring your left leg out long. Okay? We're gonna work on something that's a cross-body sling. So our right arm and our left leg are intrinsically tied to each other based on the way our muscles flow through our body. And so we like to work them at the same time. So from here, adjust yourself if you need to be a little more of an incline. And then we're gonna take that arm up to the ceiling. The other arm is just chilling. It's just hanging out. We're then gonna take that arm back towards your ear. And then on your next exhale, you're gonna bring the arm up and lift that leg. And right back down. Hey, I know that you feel that. The range of motion for your leg lift is up to you. And technically so is the arm. If going back by your ear just doesn't work for you, make it smaller. The movement is about that contraction. We're not even rocking the pelvis. It's leg and arm, that's it. But man, are my abs fired up. 3, 2, and 1. Set the foot down, set the arm down to rest. Let's do the other side. Extend the right leg long, left arm up towards the ceiling, let it swing by your ear. And now on your exhale, the arm comes up and so does the leg. And then back down. Two, and 1. Set the foot down, rest that arm. Drop your knees gently from side to side. Now we come back to center and we're gonna work on just some of the lower connections for abdominals. So arms get to rest, they can rest on the weights or they can just be resting down on the floor. And we're going to extend the left leg long, lift it up and bend it in to set it down. We extend the right leg long, lift it up, bend it in, set it down. Reach, lift, bend. Reach, lift, bend. Reach, lift, bend. One more each way. Last one. And relax for a moment. Drop your knees from side to side. One of my other favorite things to do for my pregnant clients is to work on our rotation, because you can still be really anchored here. I like holding onto my hand weights for this one. You're welcome to do so as well. Make sure that they're anchored down in the floor, and then try to bring your legs up in front of you. That is gonna be hard right away, right? And set those feet back down. That's just part of the work, okay? So by all means, come in and out of that as you see fit. But otherwise, we're gonna zip those legs together. Start with the feet down, tilt to one side, use an exhale to wrangle those legs the other way. Hey, twisty obliques. And here's the deal. As your belly gets bigger, as you keep growing that life inside of you, what's gonna happen is that this weight is gonna be heavier. So the work is gonna get harder. I highly suggest starting this early on and keeping up with it, because then you're just it'll be an easy progress. It'll be like, oh, well, that's fine. I can just take the work along with me. Practice all of it slightly on an incline. Now come back to center. If you can hold those legs up briefly, we're gonna do a couple of sets of that version. So we bring the legs up, you can extend them far from you. Take them over to one side, through center, and over the other way. I'm pressing my hands down into the floor, into those weights, into the floor. Come back to center, set the feet down. Now here's one issue that may happen. As I was doing that, my butt started to crawl away from the bolsters. Or bolsters and pillows. So I had to readjust for one more set. We're gonna bring those legs up and push them out a little further, give yourself room, and then move back and forth. If at any point this feels like too long of a lever, drop your heels towards your tush. This is still relevant. One more each way. Feet come down, fabulous. Now we're gonna finally come off of our back. Come on up any way that works for you. I don't have a baby growing inside of me, so my way of getting up is gonna be different than your way of getting up. Let's pop on up. We can move our weights off to the side and our pillows. I'm gonna toss this bolster on the couch along with both pillows. Oh, hi, Corbin. Hi, buddy. Another great place to be doing abdominal work here is kneeling. I know that sounds kind of wild. It's like, how can I possibly? Well, it's your obliques more than it is the front stuff. So we're gonna get that by staying up nice and tall. We're gonna kick one leg out to the side and slightly in front of us. By all means, have a chair nearby if you need something to support you during that leg kick out moment, or if you feel kind of precarious here. Now the deal is we're gonna bring the hands back behind the head. We're gonna lean away from the long leg, hold, and then come up. We lean, 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 hold, and up. Do you feel that? Lean it over, and up. 2 more times. Lean, and lift. Last one. Lean, and lift. Bring that leg underneath you, release your arms, roll your shoulders. If being down on your knees is not great for you, you can do this and seated in a chair as well. Totally can do it in a chair. You extend one leg long, you lean away from it, and you come right back up. Let's kick the other leg out, get another side of this done. The leg is slightly in front of you just so your pelvis can stay square and forward. Corbin, what are you doing? He is my child. I'm not gonna actually, bear any of my own, but these fur ones, they're mine. Hands back behind your head. We're gonna inhale, come over and hold. And how far you lean over is up to you and based on what you got in you that day. Lean and hold. We've got 3 more. 2. And last one. Bring that knee underneath you, roll your shoulders a little bit. Okay, we're gonna be coming down to a quadruped position now. If at any point being down on your hands and knees is not conducive to how you're set up, how your shoulders are, how your hands feel, you can be down on your forearms on a sturdy surface. Even this couch, like I could turn around and put my forearms down here and get some work done. So you find a surface that works for you. The knee portion is one that's kind of hard to avoid for these last little pieces. So my suggestion is lots of padding. Put a lot of padding down, rest your knees. If you put your knees down and they go, ugh, I don't like that, stop for a second, lift that knee up, wiggle it, set it back down. Your patella may have just kind of slid around and been wonky. And if it doesn't work for you, move on. It's totally okay to skip this portion. All right, otherwise we're coming down, quadruped, hands and knees. And this first little bit is called hugging the baby, really. So we're gonna let our bellies just go. Let them hang down towards the floor. I think I've also heard this called pregnant cat. It's like cat-cow, but because it's for pregnancy, it's called pregnant cat. Now here, all we're gonna do, no change in the spine. All I want you to do is think about exhaling and hugging the baby, drawing the baby up towards your spine. And then inhale, releases it. And then exhale, hugs, yeah. Inhale, releases. 4 more. And release. 3. And release. Last 2. And release. Last 1. And release. Pop yourself up. Now we're gonna dramatize it. We're gonna make it bigger. And by doing that, we're actually gonna come into that sort of yoga cat pose that's part of cat-cow. So we're gonna let the belly fall, we're gonna draw it up, and then we're gonna draw and try to bring our spine up towards the ceiling. Hands down on that mat again. Find a strong shoulder position. And here, let the belly fall towards the floor. Okay? Now, on an exhale, you're gonna draw that belly up and then round, tucking your tailbone. And then inhale, come back to neutral and let that belly fall. Exhale, we draw it up. And then hollow as we round, round, round. And I say hollow, and I know you're not gonna hollow because you're pregnant or you're post, and that's okay. It's a common lexicon that I can't seem to stop saying in classes. So that's on me, not on you. Draw that belly up. Yeah, and then round the spine towards the ceiling. Come back down, let it go. 2 more. Draw it up. And then round. Yeah. And let it go. Last 1. And round, 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 round. Fabulous. Let's pop up off our wrists, give them a break for a moment. Now, if you've mastered that sensation of hugging the baby up towards your spine, we're gonna move on to a little bit more advanced movement that's called knee hovers. I'm gonna give you 2 versions of that. We're gonna do the standard knee hover, and then we're gonna do a crawling knee hover, which just kind of challenges the rest of our body to be in the mix with us. Hands are down on the floor. Find that nice connected position in your shoulders. Think about your chest reaching forward through them. And then tuck your toes under back behind you. The first step of this is just letting your belly hang. And then on your exhale, drawing up, finding some connection. Big breath in again. Don't let that belly go though. And on your exhale, hover your knees. And then set it down. Yeah, let it go. Exhale. Draw it up and hover your knees. You've got this. Knees down, belly goes. Exhale, draw the belly up and hover. Knees down and let it go. Last 1. Draw the belly up. Knees hover. Knees down. And let it go. Pop off your wrists again. Roll them around. If they're starting to get to you, I want you to go ahead and flip your wrists over, tops of the hands down, and give yourself a little stretch. Now we're gonna take this concept, this toe or knee hovers, and turn it into a locomotion. So we're gonna move a little bit in it. So back up towards the back end of your mat. Make sure your toes, while they're tucked under, are still on the mat. And then bring your hands down. Okay? Here, I like a little scooped hand instead of a wide, flat hand. Personally, it protects my wrists a little bit more. And if at any point this feels too intense, walk your hands further out in front of you. Totally reasonable. Think about your chest reaching forward. On your exhale, find that baby hug, hover your knees, and then give me a little crawl forward. And then set it down. Oh, welcome. This breath is rescue breath. Whenever you need it, breathe, but try to not let the abdominals release while you're breathing. Okay, now we have to go backwards, friends. Tuck your toes under. Hug that baby, hover the knees, and crawl backwards. And then set the knees down, pop off your wrists, roll them out. We're gonna do 1 more pair of those. 1 more, okay? By all means, add as many of these as you build up to and you feel like you're capable of. It is a lot on your wrists though, so be realistic with yourself, okay? Let's come on down. Tuck those toes under. Hug that baby. Hover the knees and walk yourself forward in little crawling baby steps. And then set the knees down, breathe in again. Hug the baby with your abdominals, hover the knees and back it up. and then set the knees down. All right, now our last thing here is a really low plank, my friends. We're gonna be down on our forearms, and if you find yourself at a point in your pregnancy or post-pregnancy that being down on your forearms makes it so that your belly is too close to the floor and that makes you very nervous, understandable. You don't wanna eat it, I get it. You're gonna grab something that you can put your forearms on that props you up a little bit. You could come back to this couch concept. You could even do this against the wall if you really wanted to, and take your time walking yourself out further. Okay, otherwise, let's try the full plank version of it. And if that's not in your wheelhouse today, you're going to use a surface to elevate your body. You're gonna take one leg out behind you, toes tucked under, and then take the other leg out too. And then try to bring yourself into a nice long line. And pulling back. We're just creating some dynamic sort of support. For 3, 2, and 1. Knees down, pop off your forearms. Shake your arms out. Go the other way. We have one more version of that to do. One more. We are almost done, y'all, I promise. Forearms down on that mat. I'm gonna scoot forward a little. I'm gonna walk one leg out. Hug the baby, same sensation, and take the other leg out. Now, from here, all we're doing is dropping one knee down to the floor and bringing it up. Other knee. Back and forth. One more each way. Both knees down, pop yourself up, and come down to whatever seated position works for you. And that's it, my friends. So it's just a handful of abdominal things that you can do while you're pregnant or postpartum. And then I suggest adding this to a good seated arm work class, a good standing leg work class. There are little bits and pieces of these shorter classes that you can mix together to get just a friggin' good workout all around. So don't be shy. A lot of those seated arm classes that I've put out have those same side bends too. So it's a good place to practice and flesh those out a little bit. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you learned some new skills for things that you can add on or modify in other classes so that you can have a little bit more access. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.